Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be doing my unboxing of my cave salamanders. As you can see, I have them here in this cardboard box in this styrofoam container, which is really good for the breeder to ship that way. These keeps it insulated from heat and cold and things like that. So good breeders always should ship like this, I should say. There's a couple bubble pops in here, as you can see, and then there are some what are these, like cooling pads, little cooling pouches to keep it cool. They're still cold actually, which is great. The weather here on the East Coast where I live has fluctuated between like 50 and 80. So, anyways, as you can see, here's a little deli dish. These are next day air, so really get them the next day. From when I talked to the breeder. As you can see, one of the salamanders is right on top. There's some wet, moist paper towels in there. These are 3 cave salamanders, and here's a better view. I already checked them all out. They're all alive, thank God. I have yet to experience a fatality in the male. I'm gonna try to, they're really tiny. I knew they were juveniles, but I didn't expect them to be this small. One of them is actually bigger than the other 2, as you'll see here shortly. But sorry, I'm just trying to, there's another one right there. They're kind of all hiding here in these paper towels. But remember, these are animals that typically do live at the mouths or in caves. Some people find them in other places. I've only seen one in a cave. I've never actually seen one anywhere. They don't live, they're not native to where I live, so they are legal for me to have. But they are definitely rare in other places. And these are captive bred animals. Some people are shocked to know that there are breeders out there who do it, but they're not necessarily cheap, but they are captive bred. I'll be feeding them probably some pinhead crickets and maybe fruit flies, maybe some blackworms, we'll see, and also springtails. I am going to be trying to put them in the paludarium now. One of them is in. As you can see the tail right there. He kind of jumped out, actually. I just saw him. I moved the rock. So he's already in. He's crawling around in there, exploring his new world. And I'm going to try to get these other ones out. As you can see, they love to climb. Try to get this one out here. Nope. It's yeah, they're kind of goofy. But really, interestingly, they're almost like arboreal salamanders, the way I've been watching them climb already. Definitely very deliberate in how they move. Not lumbering, like for instance, my red salamanders kind of lumber around a little bit more, not as much as a tiger salamander, but these are really more kind of aerodynamic salamanders. Clearly they're more slender, they have longer tails. They're very similar to long-tailed salamanders, if you're familiar with those. But I like these have this cool yellowish orange color with the black dots. And apologize here, I'm just trying to get them out without dumping them out. But just once I get these 2 in, it should be all good. And just kind of let him acclimate. And I think this one will actually come out now, as he is ready to make his entrance to his new home. And I think he is. There he goes. So he is off, and now I have the big one that I need to get out, who is stubbornly kind of not wanting to get out. But as you can see, really just already going kind of for the cover of some of these fake styrofoam rocks I made. And that's just kind of actually where I saw one in the wild many years ago, was in a crevice, in a crack inside of a cave. That was similar to that. So, and here is the big one right here. This is the biggest one I have. Maybe it's 3 inches, 3.5 inches. And these are juveniles, remember. So he's clearly beelining to go into the water as well, which I expect. It takes a couple days for these guys to get acclimated and to start eating and stuff. So I put a bunch of springtails in there for them to eat. They're all over. They're in the water. They're in the moss. And I think that they're really going to need to eat some small food. I thought they could take small crickets, but they're just way too big. And eventually they'll eat probably the ghost shrimp that are in there once they get big, and some of the other things. But right now they're just way too small. So, but anyways, really appreciate you guys tuning in, and we'll be back to you with some new videos shortly.